Welcome to the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary podcast. This is your host, Scotty B. Friends, you haven't seen her as a princess, but you know her as a queen. One of the best all-around inspiring cosplayers. She does it all, folks, from modeling to fitness, cosplay, luxury and lifestyle, media and fashion. Humble, easygoing, a true friend in the cosplay community, and does amazing work on camera. You will want to subscribe to her channel. Please welcome the Adi Rodrigues to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Adi, how are you doing?
My gosh, so good.
It's been a minute since we've had a chance to catch up. So
it's been 2 years.
That went really fast. COVID didn't help at all though, with everything being shut down and not being able to go to any cons and missing my Florida family very much. But it's so great to have you here. And I will first publicly apologize for the last time that we had you on the show. I had to edit out your name because I said it wrong. I mispronounced it. So this is me formally saying, sorry, Adi, for that. We will get it right every time. I've had 2 years to practice and make sure that I don't missay anything on the show anymore. And I do miss talking to Al too. I hope he's doing well.
Oh, he's doing really good. He's doing really good. By the way, you're not forgiven.
Not forgiven.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay. Right. And speaking of Black Widow, what was the movie everything that you'd hoped it would be? I mean, how did the advanced screening go?
Oh my God, where to begin? Well, besides you just can't wait. The anticipation, right? The anticipation is so real, and the hype. And then this is last year. So in 2020, they're like, yeah. You're so excited. And they're like, nope. And you're like, no. And then when you finally see it, it's worth the wait. The action, the emotion, the characters, to be honest, my heart. Yes.
Those from the giveaway that just got finished. I haven't shipped them out yet, but I got them for the original release, so I've been holding on to them for quite some time.
Such an amazing movie, and if you want my honest opinion, I feel like Florence Pugh stole the show. Yelena stole the show. I love Natasha, I love Scarlett, but she stole the show.
I have a lot of catching up to do on Marvel, actually. I don't have Disney Plus. I mention this every so often. I keep telling people I'm like Disney challenged. I don't have Disney Plus, and I'm way behind.
Did you say you're Disney challenged?
I'm Disney challenged.
Oh my God,
so,
no.
It's an amazing cast, an amazing show. I feel like I'm just missing out on how great it is. And the really interesting thing, at least in my opinion, is that nobody is spoiling anything. Everybody's totally dead quiet about how this movie went down. So it'll be a brand new experience for me when I do get around to seeing it. And just by the almost sort of jaw drop, everybody's very, I guess, satisfied with the movie.
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. There's one little thing that I'm a little about, but I'll get over it.
Well, it can't be much worse than Endgame with Natasha.
Oh, it's on the same level of that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little rough, I guess.
Well, technically I could say this because it's not going to spoil anything. But it's like a conspiracy theory. Can I say it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically in 2020, Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to be in the movie.
But he wasn't?
He wasn't.
Ooh, okay.
And you know my obsession with Tony Stark. So
yes,
I was disappointed in that was the only thing I was disappointed in the movie with. Just that.
Oh. But other than that, it was fabulous. No good way to segue, but I do want to spend some time talking about fitness and cosplay and just how wonderfully that you've been able to tie the two together. You have a YouTube channel where you You go over a lot of really cool workouts that are cosplay related. You had a Gal Gadot workout that was really effective, and I don't know if I could actually do it, but
Oh, you totally could. It's for anybody and everybody, I promise you.
Really, you make it so much fun, and there's certainly a lot of people in the cosplay community that, myself included, don't always feel great about putting on a skin tight suit and walking around a convention. And we kind of go down the fitness and nutrition path, but I think some of us get discouraged. Would you mind talking about your fitness journey and how it has tied into cosplay?
Basically, my main motivation of getting into fitness was I was a morbidly obese teenager. So I was almost hitting 300. So I lost a lot of weight and I became very healthy, and it just started a spiral from there or the rest was history, I guess, whatever that saying is, because I'm terrible at sayings. So it's always been a love and a passion of mine since I was 14 years old. So this has been a long time. And the one thing that I can say, what ties in my fitness career without going down that rabbit hole, because it's a long rabbit hole, I would say fitness brings out, number one, endorphins, which is a positive emotion. And it also allows confidence too. So when you put them together, and I've seen a lot of individuals really trying to become just, if my YouTube training like a superhero, right? So I'm training like Gal Gadot for Wonder Woman. So how she trained for Wonder Woman. So a lot of people want to become these individuals and get to that level. And sometimes you don't know how to do it, right? So you go down a very drastic path, I guess you can say, without knowing what to do right and how you can change your body the correct way and like maintain that lifestyle. So that's why I made the YouTube channel, so that I can give my knowledge to everyone without a price. So I'm going to be touching base on nutrition, so everyone can understand the basics of how you can eat to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and also how you can train like these superheroes. Just like, I'm not a superhero, I dress like one, but
Well,
I'm not.
you kind of are.
But it's like an anybody can do it type of thing. I mean, I'm crazy. I like to challenge myself with so many things, and I have some really cool things planned out, by the way.
Ooh,
but
okay.
I want to give everyone an opportunity to be able to reach these goals too, and have an understanding on how to do it, which is why I incorporate fitness and cosplay, because I see it all the time.
We've had a few episodes where we've talked about this on the show previously. We talked with the host of Breaking the Barrier podcast, Andrew Lorenzo. You may know him as Melbourne Superman. He really emphasizes the importance of training and nutrition. He is in fairly good shape himself, if you have seen him in the Superman suit. But I guess the question as a follow-up is it really a matter of motivation for cosplayers to understand or to realize the importance or the role that fitness can play in their life?
Fitness is personal, nutrition is personal. It's one of those subjects that when you're ready to really get yourself involved with it, you will. But it's a matter of having a right inspiration to help you get there. And I don't want to say I want to be I do want to be inspiring to others, but I really want to be a resource because I have the background in nutrition. I mean, I've been doing this for like 15 years. Mm-hmm. So I have the background, personal training, nutrition. Like, I want to be a good source of information for all the scary diets that you can do and the things that can harm your body. I want to be that resource that I can show people how to do it the right way without being unhealthy. But it's a personal decision to get active. But I tell everyone it's not rocket science. If you get outside and you walk for 30 minutes a day, that's enough activity that you really honestly need as a human being. And eating healthy, like, to give a quick tip on nutrition, is 90% whole foods, 10% processed. AKA you can still live and eat healthy at the same time.
When you say 90-10 and whole foods, I think it can be a little bit confusing for people getting into nutrition to understand what whole foods are.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I think of like whole foods, I think like I have to eat like a whole tomato or like a raw carrot or something like that. I'm like,
I mean, I don't want to just like isolate certain foods, but you know, like the little snack cakes you get that, you know, you get in a package, like anything in a package is processed.
sure.
Anything that is like a banana, things like that, like broccoli, all of that, those are like actual whole foods, you know, like chicken, that's a whole food. That's the category as it, but you will see a difference in your body when you start really getting rid of like fast food, you know what I mean? Like sodas, getting rid of all of that, your body will change like that.
It is definitely not easy to not hit Taco Bell up or your favorite things that you want, like and then once, you know, it's kind of a slippery slope too, because you give them up and then if you go back, the tendency is to want more, like you crave it.
You know, I
If you
haven't
start
had
back in.
fast food since I was 14 years old.
When I pass McDonald's, I always I look at McDonald's and then I think about what it's made out of. I'm like, no, but I just remember like a long time ago when I was eating it fairly often, because it used to be like a routine for me. I worked at a movie theater and I'd be up until 2 or 3 in the morning. So I come home and the only thing that was open for food was a 24/7 McDonald's. So I'd go through and I'd get like supersized everything in a big shake, and it would be like this huge calorie dump at like 3:30 in the morning, which is it's just the worst thing.
When you were hungry, I understand.
Those, you know, it got to be a long day, you know. So, and I guess I was fairly active back then. You know, I was training in martial arts and I was working, you know, crazy hours all day and all night. But yeah, it makes you feel run down with all the processed sugar and everything. You have a link in your Instagram bio, which we will have your links in the show notes, of course. But you have one link that's called Get Fit with Adi. And is it possible for us to sign up for that and to train with you virtually, or what is your program about?
If you really, really, truly want to work with me, I will only take on 2 people every 3 months because I'm extremely busy in everything else that I do. But yes, you could train with me, but I don't want to say I discourage it, but I would just want everyone to understand that if you choose to work with me, you have to be extremely serious and dedicated to everything that I do, because I want to make sure everyone reaches the goals that they want, but I do have a very strict policy when it comes to working with me. So when you're ready to work with me, make sure you are in fact ready to work with me. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you.
And that it really does go a long way. You have to listen to your trainer, folks. If this is something that you want to commit to, you know, a lifestyle of training and nutrition, you have a coach like Adi, you have to listen to what she tells you to do. If you do not, you will not be happy with yourself. And I can speak from personal experience, having online trainers in the past and working with people in the fitness industry, that the clients that are the happiest are the ones that follow the rules. That's just the way it is.
And also just keep in mind, like my YouTube channel, I am going to be putting a lot of information for being able to learn as well, for your own personal like lifestyle and fitness and nutrition. I am going to get more involved with teaching everyone how to do that too. So like it's not so they don't have to feel like a necessity, but they can learn from these from the videos that I'm going to be doing too. So that's really fun. I'm excited about that.
If we can talk about some other things that are great, and also cosplay. You have so many amazing cosplays. Want to go back to Wonder Woman 1984, several cosplays that you did for the Zack Snyder Justice League. Of course, you have all sorts of things going on with the Zack Snyder's Justice League. But you were in a fan-made video of Wonder Woman 1984, directed by 221B Disney.
Emily.
we had a few of the clips on the show, and we will link to the video so you can watch the show. We'll link to the full video. You've been Wonder Woman, you've been Cheetah, you've been Hippolyta. You have just so many, and this all kind of leading up to of just a super awesome edit that you did with Noel Fotografia with Liz Wonder, which was
Yes.
called Women Empowering Women. Would love to talk about the empowerment of the cosplays that you've chosen with Wonder Woman 1984. Would love to talk about the empowerment of women and female cosplayers supporting other female cosplayers inside of cosplay.
To touch on the Wonder Woman 84, like Cheetah, Wonder Woman, Hippolyta, because I have touched them all. It's, you find characters you can relate to, right? So with Cheetah, she finds herself, she finds a confidence, she's fierce. I find that I could be fierce. I find myself confident, but I also know that it took a part of my character to know personally that I am confident, right? So I experienced what Barbara experienced, where I was like, well, am I good enough? I went through that confusion once in my life, you know? So I felt a connection with Barbara. So it enhanced my love for Cheetah, you know, because of that connection that I had. And with Wonder Woman as a child, I loved her, and she's just so kind. I tell Liz Wonder all the time, she is like the virtue of Wonder Woman. Like, she doesn't even have to look like her, like Gal Gadot. She doesn't even have to. It's just her spirit is Wonder Woman. Not to go off topic, but it's true.
No,
But
it is. She just embodies everything that Wonder Woman stands for.
and that's the thing that I love about it. Like, the Wonder Woman aspect is she's strong, she's tough. She won't. I always tell everyone, and Hippolyta. So Hippolyta and Wonder Woman, the reason why I cosplay them is that they know when you feel like something is the right thing to do, whether it's the hard thing to do, I will always go on the path on what's right. I tell everyone that, like, it's so important, even when the decision is hard, choose the right thing, because that's the right thing to do regardless. So I love that Wonder Woman and Hippolyta, they live by that. Like, that's their thing. Like, that's why I cosplay them. Now, tying that in with women supporting other women, it's important. There's no reason for anyone to be brought down by, I mean, women supporting men, men supporting women, that too. I'm going to be all inclusive with that, because I feel like everyone should support one another.
Yeah.
And in a community, cosplay, actually any community, if we're going to be honest here, we need to support one another. You know, women should build upon each other, help each other out. Like, if you call me, any lady, any guy, you call me and you ask me, I'm going to help you, because why not? You know, this world is, you don't have to be, there's always something you can give to somebody, right? Everyone has something different that they can offer. So when you're able to help someone get to their next level, like, that's rewarding, you know? And it's just it can be a hard concept for some to come to that understanding, because for me, when I was younger, I didn't understand the concept of sharing. You know, when you're a teenager, you're like, what's mine is mine, leave me alone. But then as you get older, you realize that when you can share ideas and make something a masterpiece with other people, like, for instance, Emily, when we all worked with Emily, you had all these characters come together as a team and made something beautiful, right? But it takes a team effort. So if you're not supporting each other, things like that cannot happen.
It really, you don't necessarily know when you're younger, and when you do get into things like theater and performance, cosplay, where you're on a shoot and it's a group shoot, or you're doing something more a little bit more challenging, like putting together a remote video a whole performance, like you're doing, from start to finish on an entire film, really a short film. You have to show up first, and then you have to really be you have to be okay with giving and giving and receiving. Really, it's a group effort, 100%.
Yeah.
And that and you do have a lot to learn. And I know once upon a time, just trying to get leads in musicals and seeing some of the backstage politics and how some of the kids really they just wanted to show up so that they could get that lead, so that they could check that box. And after a few years of doing something like that, you realize, this is about being a player in a much bigger, thing. It's just bigger than you. And whether you're the main person with all the lines, or whether you're the guy holding the wrench in the background, and you're just there, you're contributing to the production.
Scarlett and Florence is a great example. Even Kristen and Gao, there's two women, huge characters. So Scarlett is the main character, right? And Florence is the supporting character, with Kristen being the supporting character, Gal being the main character. Well, with them being a team, they both became huge main sources of being that character because of them supporting one another. So it's like a huge example of working together. I used to do theater in high school. So I know when you were talking about like the backstage politics, I'm like, oh yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah.
It gets
Oh,
catty.
yeah.
Like the girls are very competitive at that age, and even in college. Oh boy, it can get bad.
I remember. I was a stage manager because I was like, nope, not gonna act. Nope, I'm good. I don't want to deal with that. I'm good.
So you started behind the scenes, and eventually you worked to being more in front of the camera. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It really, the short films were fantastic, and I must say that your TikToks are always just so good. You do all of the characterizations, and your sync up with the voiceovers are always just perfect. Love them.
But one thing about TikTok though is for people who want to do like acting, it's such a great app to use. It really helps you with your skills, like getting used to like acting. Like if you like haven't done it in a long time, you go on there and you do like these voiceovers. Like it really does help with like getting your skills back together. So I would tell everyone, if you are trying to practice that, TikTok is a great option.
I want to talk about your Cheetah cosplay and also She-Hulk. Two characters that require a little bit of body paint, maybe a lot of body paint, and you do it so well. You're just the way that you blend everything and the creativity in bringing out the character and all of just everything that you have to do to make that blend and smooth. Just wondered if you had any tips about how to approach body painting, especially when you're at a con and you're in like a hotel room or something like that, where body paint might get a little bit more clumsy than it would at home when you're just putting it on for your camera.
I made a lot of mistakes with body paint, so I really do love Mayron makeup. So invest in Mayron. I could say this much. So like if you're doing, let's just use She-Hulk, for example. You want to get like a dark shade green, a light shade green, like a yellow, like highlight. So I literally do makeup like I do my regular face. So the highlights, the contouring, all of that, you literally do with the color skin you're becoming, like green, purple, orange, blue. You're doing the same makeup you typically do, but with the different hues of that color. So like that's the secret.
That's actually a lot easier than I expected it to be. I was thinking like you had this whole like process where you had like all of these special brushes and things, and like but that's actually very reassuring.
So I'll give one other little tidbit. Find a picture and practice it, like the color, because with Cheetah, you'll see like I have different stripes, spots, whatever it may be. That's the only thing that I would say is find like a fine, what is that called? Like fine point, like a fine point brush to make those small like
Little
adjustments.
details.
Yeah, just a small brush. You want to make sure it's small. Like, don't use a big brush for those.
Just talking a little bit more about She-Hulk. I think Disney Plus is going to be coming out with She-Hulk in 2022.
Yeah.
And we've loved your She-Hulk. We haven't seen it in a little while. I was just curious if you do have anything planned for She-Hulk coming up as we get closer to the release of the series.
She-Hulk is in my heart. More She-Hulk is coming. I'm going to upgrade my She-Hulk, by the way. So I'm going to make a small change, just like I'm working with Jay Curtis Attilaire.
Oh yeah.
And he's upgrading my She-Hulks. So I sent him not my She-Hulk. I'm sending him my She-Hulk, but I sent him my cheetah suits. So he's upgrading them for me. So I can't wait to show you what he does. And as far as She-Hulk is concerned, She-Hulk is coming back. I have a specific cosplay I'm going to be doing with her, which I cannot wait to do because she's my OG. She's my baby. As far as the series is concerned, I have no expectations, only because you can really mess up a series with She-Hulk.
I think I have to go like way back to the original Incredible Hulk to think of like how I would maybe want to see She-Hulk portrayed. Like you would have to give her a lot more, like make her more relatable.
Yes.
Than just being kind of like the female version of the Hulk, which she's not. She's very different. Very different.
She's regular. She doesn't have like this anger disorder. Like I don't want to give away the show if no one's researched it, but she's not the Hulk. In other words, she's far from it. So I really hope they have a lot of character development for her for this series.
No, it'll be so cool. Cannot wait to see it. Cannot wait to see all of the amazing things that you're going to be doing between now and then. And thank you so much for being on the show, Adi. It's been wonderful talking to you and sharing all of these just great tips and your advice and just everything that you do in the community. Thank you so much.
Aw, thank you, Scott. This was amazing. I missed you. It's been so long.
I know. It's been too long. It's been too long.
It really has. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Where can we find you and how can we support you online?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as the Adi Rodrigues and YouTube as the Adi Rodrigues. So I keep it very easy for everyone.
Keeping it simple, and all of those links will be in the show notes. Be sure to click, be sure to follow and subscribe to Adi, such a wonderful cosplayer and human being. That is all we have for you today, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Scotty B saying bye-bye.